Mindfulness, what it is, why you need it, how to achieve it, explained as simply and as quickly as possible without any padding. Mindfulness is when you succeed in putting your full focus and concentration into whatever you're currently doing, no matter how unimportant, important, boring, exciting it is. But let's start off by defining unmindfulness, which you'll probably know quite well. Did you ever eat a candy bar while you were checking your email or something else and realise afterwards that you had consumed the bar but had no memory of actually enjoying it? That's unmindfulness. When you ate that delicious candy bar, you weren't even there. Were you ever being given important instructions by your boss or an instructor, but you didn't actually listen because in your mind you were miles away? That's unmindfulness. When the instructor was speaking, you weren't even there. How often did you just put your keys down somewhere or your cell phone down somewhere and then spend ages looking for it? That's unmindfulness. When you put these objects down, you weren't there. You were somewhere else. That's unmindfulness. Now, unmindfulness has a terrible cost in our lives. When you ate that candy bar unconsciously, you got the calories but hardly any pleasure. When you didn't listen to those vital instructions and later on found yourself locked out of a building because you couldn't remember where your boss had said the keys would be, that's unmindfulness. You put your cell phone down and then spend frustrating 10-15 minutes looking for it. You're going to be late, aren't you, if you're meeting? So unmindfulness causes you a lot of aggravation, it's damaging to your aspiration, and it's probably a great hindrance to achieving your goals because you're never getting round to doing the important things because you're always lost in this, or too often you're lost in this unmindfulness state. But I'm now going to tell you something rather shocking about yourself that you may never have realised. So I'm going to tell you that you so hate being in the present, you so hate focusing on what you've got to do, that you even prefer to think about your past disasters, to relive that occasion when things really went wrong in your life. So your past disasters, these are a kind of painful comfort zone, a familiar area that you go back through. Might go back through how you lost a promotion, how you broke up by doing some stupid thing with a partner, or you just made a fool of yourself in front of everyone. So how can we get back into the room and stay there? How can we keep control of our own life? How can we stop spending so much time in negativity, searching for things we've mislaid, not enjoying the moment? How can we become more focused? Or what technique can we use to become mindful? That's what we're after. We want to become mindful. So mindfulness is a learnable set of techniques that we can use to bring our minds back under control. So let's start with simple mindfulness. When you're eating, really focus on the taste and texture of your food. Eat more slowly. Hesitate between mouthfuls. Enjoy the flavour. It's good for you anyway. When you're next listening to someone, friend or a business colleague, really listen to them. Give them 100% of your attention. If necessary, observe some inconsequential thing about them without bugging them out. Give them the impression that they're the most important person you've ever met. So, and this is another good thing. Listen to other people. Much better than always being you speaking. When you're out walking, become aware of all the nature around you. Everything around you. It doesn't have to be a beautiful park. Even in a city street there'll be something, a doorbell or a bit of carving that's of interest. And then the fourth item, which is breathing. This is always brought up. Become aware of your breathing. Air coming in, air going out. Become aware of the fact that if you're sitting down, that you're touching the chair in different places. Become aware of the clothes on you. It's just all of these things are you being present in the moment, not letting your thoughts race off elsewhere. So to recap, you allocate more of your concentration to the current task, to the current person, no matter how unimportant or important that is. Leave less of your concentration to escape the room, to fly off anywhere else. So it's bad enough being unmindful in the first place, but if we're going somewhere bad, if we're going to relive some awful previous experience, then it's even worse. It's taking more of our concentration. It's distracting us. The risk that whatever task we're engaging in will be done badly is even worse. Why do we have this preference for remembering our disasters rather than our successes? Well, it's just human, but we don't have to accept it. And mindfulness can give you a technique for overcoming this predilection. So these automatic negative thoughts, you gain more of them as you get older, as you gain more experiences. And when we return to an ant, we rerun a little video of the humiliation, and it has a nasty effect of reinforcing the memory, of course. So we want to use mindfulness to intercept the ant before it gets going. It takes a little bit of practice, but really works. So what we've got to do is recognize an ant is occurring and intercept it and disable it before it gets going. So you have to become a detached observer of your own thoughts. You know how easily you could fix your friends' problems or your colleagues' problems because you can see what they're doing wrong, because you're detached. You're standing back, you can see them 3D. You can never see yourself 3D. So the way to deal with these ants is to pretend that you are the third person You are a remote personage, and you run a number of things. Oh, you say to yourself, oh, there he's gone off again. Oh, he's doing that again. And you try and step back. You don't want to be bullied by your own thoughts. So why does this work? Well, it's because our brains actually can't really do too many things at the same time. So you can't actually run your happily rerun your ant video and watch yourself do it. So you can distract yourself, break the habit. So mindfulness is all about not doing so many things robotically. It's about taking pleasure again in just doing the ordinary things well. Peeling vegetables, putting your clothes away, organising your desk. We must stop ourselves being bullied by our own thoughts. I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous that you're beating yourself up. So we use the technique of mindfulness to bring back that control. It doesn't take 5 minutes, but it's a technique that you can work on and remind yourself of, and once you've succeeded and get some control over your thoughts, you decide what you're going to think about, then maybe you can offer yourself the pleasure of going off and dreaming about that holiday now and again.